Okay, so we are welcoming you to the video now.
Okay.
I don't know why, but your volume was turned down to 0. Okay, I might just publish the part where we get to the endgame section, but let's do this calculating exercise here.
Okay, sure.
So rook d8, why to
So is
move and win? Actually,
oh
tell me
yeah.
tell me what you want. I figured out that it's actually not a win, but we can attempt it.
Okay. What I was looking at was uh, bishop takes f6. Bishop takes f6. Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes. Bishop takes, queen e8 mate.
Yeah, very good. And in fact, I did figure out that it is actually a win. I wanted to start like this. Oh, but even that wins. Oh boy, I'm terrible. Because I thought that after bishop takes, back bishop takes, they can take with this, but then check picks off the bishop, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this move order with a check winning in the end. So I believe that we can do it in multiple ways. Yeah. Anyway, but of course rook d8 is not forced by any means, which means that the position is probably equal. So let's go on with the game, yeah? So...
Yep.
And this is actually the part that I really wanted to record, so it's all good. And I think now the audio is also working, which is a pleasant change. So dead even, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely dead even. Shout out to both of you, by the way, for playing on. I really like that. This was a good move. And here... your opponent didn't take you on c3, which to my mind is absolutely crazy. Because
I was expecting it.
if you are playing bishop b4 for starters, that means you are about to take. 2, if you are playing this with black, this is the first and last chance that you can actually create structural weaknesses. And without any risk whatsoever, you can go into this endgame where at least the pawns are split.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it defies any logic why black wouldn't do this. Almost certainly you are not going to be able to win this with black, but if you want to play it for more than a draw, that was your only chance.
Right.
So I have no idea why this didn't take place. Played h5 instead, missing out on this opportunity, and that's it. Now it's gone. Now we are back to dead even territory. a6, a3, yep, back. Yeah, out of the pin, makes perfect sense. Bishop f6, perfect move. 95, very neat, shout out. I'm not sure if they saw it, by the way. But this was great. Take, 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 take. And now black has landed himself in a far inferior endgame compared to what he could have accomplished with the pawn on c3. Still draw, I believe. And now comes the exciting part. b3, great. Bishop e3, great. g6. King d3. King d8, good. King d4, great. King c7. h3. I don't mind this at all. King d6. Bishop d2. Very good. And I think this is where your opponent started to falter. As a matter of fact, let me rephrase this. This is a game-losing blunder. What's particularly interesting about this move is that I'm trying to figure out why he did it. Because what it appears to me to be apparent in this position, and I'm pretty sure that you will agree with me, is that white's next move is bishop b4 check, correct? It is met by king c6. At this point, white has 0 threats. However, black is a little bit in a tight spot because the knight is desperately needed on d7 to prevent this penetration. So from here on out, black is down to passing with the king. But that is perfectly doable because the knight-pawn combo shuts out the king from d-squares entirely. So as long as I don't do anything stupid, I do not see a feasible plan for white to break in. Ever. And that's not even mentioning that I don't think that playing e5 in general is, an idea from the devil. Like, yeah, it puts the pawn on black, so what? It's not even targetable, let alone a realistic weakness. But I don't even need to do that. I can just pass to and fro. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. So when king b6 landed, if I am white here, I'm like, whoa, really? And so we went check, shut out, king back, and king e5. Now your opponent naively assumed that this was good enough to keep the king away. But this should have never been allowed, because now, after king f4, you have another avenue to come in on.
Mm-hmm.
So he shuts you out there, and now we are going to enter the most fascinating endgame scenario I have seen in a very, very long time. So
yeah, I've looked at this some myself. Yeah.
Oh, so it's very unfortunate because it means you remember what needs to be done here, right?
Yeah, I do.
No, well, so you said earlier, which wasn't heard because I messed up the audio again, that your memory is bad. Turns out it's not that bad.
I remember this one because it stood out as that was my moment. All right.
Right, so to me, it kind of hurts that we miss this opportunity because I don't consider the move that needs to be played here particularly difficult. And the effect it has on the black army is staggering. So we played it bishop c3, which really is asking for e5. Which you must have thought that it was an accomplishment having another pawn on black. But given that the position is level and the king is super close to the king side, it's just not going to cut it. Whereas, if you play the critical bishop e7, this bishop completely immobilizes the entire black army. Knight can never move for the rest of the game, and as a result, nor can the king. Not to any meaningful squares at all. And even this wouldn't be enough for a win. Do you remember the winning plan here?
This one, this part I don't. I did remember it was interesting that the king can't get to the bishop, right? Like the
That's
the
it.
only square.
That's it.
Yeah.
It is an absolutely marvelous case of domination, which, by the way, is going to make its way to my endgame course. But even this very clearly would not be enough if you couldn't find either a target or a new plan / way to find your way in and do damage. So how do we do damage?
So king h4 with the idea of g4.
Okay, so you go king h4. Let's say I pass. You play g4. I take. What do you do?
I take with the f pawn.
Bingo. This is the key idea. Take with the f. Get back in here. h4, h5 wins.
And then
an even cleaner way of doing this, by the way, come to... Oh, is it? I was wondering if you can start with h4 king here and then g4, but then they don't have to take. So yeah, we need to go king h4 g5. G4, excuse me. Yeah, and I'm also thinking, Derek, that after king h4 g4, we might even win with king takes. The idea being h4 h5, forcing the trade, take king g6 and hit the pawn.
right.
And obviously, if black tries to push any pawns here, you just push past. Right? So if in this position I play a5, you just do your thing. If a4, you just push past. And that's it. I'm stuck. It's so beautiful. Can't play f5 because of king in. The knight can't move because that drops like 5,000 pawns. And that's it. The king is doomed to this. Take. And once again, I do think king g4, h4, h5 is good too, but we can do this. And now if g5, then you go in.
Mm-hmm.
If king pass, I thought that we go back here. But then g5.
Isn't this the same situation though? Like if I king g3, g5.
Yeah, h4. Yeah. So ultimately, we only win by coming in. We don't get a h pass pawn. I was wondering if I can make it so clean that we can get a h pass pawn, but I don't think we can. I don't think we can at all. Yeah, let me just very quickly check this. So g4, hg, fg, king pass. Oh, it's g5. I looked at that too. I did consider g5, but then I gave up on it too soon. Of course, because f5 takes wins. Yeah, this is it.
Because
yeah.
the knight can't get there.
Well, it's just like, yeah, two connected pass pawns with bishop. Yeah, no. And the bishop is once again, the domination is insane. Look at that. Oh, you're just done. Sheesh, this is beautiful. Yeah, g5 is the easiest. And of course, after takes, you just mold this down and the pawn is in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. This is madness. Like bishop e7 and that's it. It's all over, red rover.
Yeah.
After a4, the engine wants a4 though. That's curious. So what happens if I pursue the plan? a4, b4, f5. And if I go and get in, maybe they want to come around here now. Yeah, we have 2-5. Yeah, this is very important. It looks great. Yeah, a5 to try to carve out a weakness before we make progress here. So a4 apparently is forced. I thought that this gave room for this. Yeah, no. Yeah, I get it. Because after knight c5, when we take this and they take this, we also pick off g6. That's too much. And the bishop covers the promotion square.
a1, yeah.
Yeah, that is beautiful, man. Holy smokes. Yeah, you take king g5 and just too many pawns. And if I don't, then we are back to square one, where I'm just passing around and, yeah. We just win through the same methods as before. f5 is a move here. Now that is a cute drawing attempt here, because if I take the king h4, then all of a sudden we are only winning one pawn, although even that should be winning for white. The machine prefers this move order for whatever reason. And yeah, this is a textbook case where the bishop just outclasses the knight. Because my knight is utterly useless in stopping this pawn, and the bishop can easily be sacked. But this is still a hairy variation to calculate because there are two passes running. So here you just need to throw caution into the wind and let's go.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, e3 here and you just come back on time. And this is obviously faster than that. Plus they cover it. This is still a heck of a ride. Like you can't play h7 here. Hello, Magnus Carlsen, because the horse is back, so you need to go king f6. And you outsmart the knight like this. And even here, after knight g5, you need to have f4. Hello. Hello. Oh man, that is spicy. And knight e4, wait for it. h7, knight f6 check is still on. So now I need to come back. Oh, wow, man. That is... I didn't know this line. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. But yeah, the whole idea of this bishop e7 was the key. Right? Like, even if it's an objectively holdable position, which it turns out it isn't, this would have made his life absolute misery. Absolute misery. Yeah, wow. Wowzers, senor. Wowzers. And of course, after bishop c3, there was nothing to be done. In fact, now I'm beginning to get a little bit worried. Ah, I shouldn't, but
yeah, I was going more passive here.
Yeah. g5. Yeah, this is a draw. And by the way, one thing to note here is that a3 is not an everlasting weakness here, because you always have the plan to put the king here and then play a4 and trade it off.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
That especially applies if the king is further away, because you don't want to allow the king to step up and hit this. But let's say if the king starts to walk here to support f5, this move is perfect.
Yeah.
And now after trading, you have this weakness, but that is a heap easier to cover than a3. And you don't have to do it, by the way. I just wanted to show you that you should never look upon this as like an unfixable weakness that glues the bishop to c1 forever. Not the case. Like a4 and you're golden. Okay, let's see what happened in the game. G5, king here, yeah. I dislike G5. I really do. But yeah, unfortunately one king is not gonna cut it. Good. Yeah, good. And I'm guessing that we're fizzling out into draw very soon. That would do it.
Yeah, here I was a little nervous, I have to say.
Why?
But, well, like, without looking at it, I was just hoping my calculations were good. I was thinking that a plan would be, for black, would be e4 here.
Dude, e4 trades the pawns, like...
right.
That's unlosable, because even if you lose this, you will always be able to sack for a bishop for pawn, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you, though, that it is a weird point to agree to a draw from black's perspective. Like, they should try to squeeze you here.
Yeah. I think part of it is he was being nice or whatever, but we have some... Yeah, I wasn't seeing much here. I was just thinking, like, he could try that and see if he could interfere with my bishop with his knight and block the pushing, but I have the chance to trade it at all times, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that this is a realistic danger for you to lose, but they definitely should have tried to play it.
Yeah, like king over to b3.
Like, you are gonna lose this
knight
pawn.
takes.
Yeah, so something like king here, king across, king in, take, and then just bishop pass. And it's impossible to carry out b4 without you taking it. Like, in order to facilitate b4, I need to put a knight on c5 to shield the bishop.
Right.
And that already is a huge ask. And even if I were to do that, you would just take the knight, take, and then the king and pawn ending is a draw. So, yeah, you are correct. It was a weird time to accept the draw. He should have tried and see what happens. Then again, it was last round, so there might have been a bit of a camaraderie there to go like, yeah, all right, buddy. We had a 56 move slogfest. Enough is enough.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, last round of the tournament, so...
Cool.